Welcome to April. It feels like just yesterday it was March 1st and we were doing this video, and it feels like the day before that it was January 1st and we were talking about all of our big goals for the year. It's incredible how fast time flies, especially when you're working hard, but it can be really dangerous because if you're anything like me, it's like you're scared. You're like, dude, I'm gonna wake up in 5, 10, 15 years and not be able to have the time to work like an absolute maniac. If you're Gen Z and you have nobody really to look out for other than yourself and you have big goals inside a business, I would really warn you because there's only a finite amount of time that you have where you can go absolutely berserk on the business. Like, I don't plan on working 18, 20 hours every single day when I have a wife and kids. It's not gonna work that way. But I certainly want to have the cash flowing business, the net worth, and the business acumen, and also knowing that I have that gear inside my head to work those hours if needed, because now is the time to do it. Nonetheless, it's April 1st. We had an incredible day today. Today was very much like getting head above water from the business tasks that had piled up over the past couple weeks of traveling. Monday, Tuesday were super call heavy, so not getting a ton of tasks done. Today was like really like talk a lot with the team, clear lots of tasks, and set ourselves up for the rest of the week. This week was really like more reactive instead of proactive, while still blocking time for being proactive and still looking for things that will move the big tasks forward. That's why the one I put a star here, I don't usually put a star here on the lessons and notes, but the big star for today is the power of knowing the task at hand. When the goal is just scale the business or grow the business or get sales, it's like you're not sure what to notice. There's no opportunities to just automatically peek their heads out above the water. But after going to the acquisition.com event and finding like what the critical tasks were, we got our critical tasks up here. Number one is systematize the business. Number two is have everybody on the golden offer. I know it says golden offer, but I was like, what did I write earlier up there? Everyone on the golden offer, and then hire myself out of the day-to-day. So now that I know that the first thing to do is systematize the entire process so that no matter what client comes on board with us, there's a click-by-click system, and every single role and every single player on the team knows exactly what they need to be doing. One of the advisors told me something really, really profound. He's like, dude, our sales guys know exactly what their life's gonna look like here for the next 2 years. I was like, oh, being able to have it down to that level of granular detail, that when anybody joins the team, they know exactly what their life's gonna look like for the next couple of years, I think is incredible. And now that I know that that's the first critical task, I'm now looking for opportunities. So when I'm working in the day-to-day today, I might have said, hey, I'm just trying to get my head above water with all of these tasks that piled up. I'm now looking for ways to systematize. I'm now looking for ways to automate this. And there were a few times throughout the day that I just got up out of my chair, ran over to the whiteboard, and just started doodling, because this weekend we're going to be putting in a lot of work in terms of putting these processes together. But the real work comes in when we're actually doing the tasks on a day-to-day basis and see what we can actually automate. So that was number one, is understanding what the critical task is. I've heard this called by Steve Jobs and Kevin O'Leary when he was talking about Steve Jobs, was signal versus noise. So knowing what the signal is, signal being the most important thing you have to do that's going to move the business forward, the most important thing, and noise being the 946 other shits that you could do. Because there's always something to do. Business, you'll always be busy, but are you doing the number one thing that's going to move the business forward? And for me, I'd rather pay my way into getting that knowledge of what the number one thing that I need to be doing is, and then work my fucking face off at the one thing that needs to get done. Because I don't know if I have the business acumen, and because obviously it's difficult to know what the big thing to do is while you're in the day-to-day. That's why I'm pay lots of money to advisors to analyze my business and say, hey, I think these are the couple things that you need to be doing. And then I can just come back knowing that that's the thing and just work like a savage towards it. So I think there's so much value in just knowing what the task is. And overall, I was a little worried about spending $35,000 on going to it was a 1-day workshop, and realistically, you get 45 minutes where your business is on the hot seat, but it's not the 45 minutes that your business is on the hot seat that you get the value. You get the value from hearing other people's problems and then how the acquisition team would solve those problems. And then also just the critical tasks that you get are the most valuable. You could have handed me a piece of paper and explained it to me for 5 minutes, and I'd be, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. Maybe more than 5 minutes, but you get the point. Anyways, was up at 7:30 today. Totally missed the alarm this morning, and I feel like we're catching up a bit on sleep. I'm waking up early tomorrow and we're on good track right now. It's 9:33. This is the last thing I got to do for the night is this video. So we're going to wrap this up. I'm a little bit hyped, so I'll probably read for a little bit, get to sleep like 10:15. My guess is I'll be out, and then 5:30 be back up and at 'em tomorrow. 5 reach outs, again, no workout, but again, this has fallen down the priority list, and I'm open about that. Like, I care the most about the business right now and growing it and getting myself out of the day-to-day and getting these 3 critical tasks done. So that's what we got here. Deep Work was creating a test project for our analyst role that's going to be coming on. This is basically like one of our team members had a really strong idea on our L10 meeting, which is our leadership team meeting, where we're trying to fill like a couple roles, but we both have them like, kind of part-time kind of roles. And she's like, well, why don't we just have like, you have like a Swiss Army knife person that can come in and do all these different things. So like, oh, let's go hire for that person. So we put out a bunch of job listings with a bunch of different role titles on them. And then people will apply for each role, but it's the same job. So basically, like, I don't know what to call this role. So we'll call it, social media manager, social media performance analyst, social media data tracker, just like a bunch of different roles that we'll call it. And it's all the same job listing. It's all the same description, but a bunch of different roles, same comp, same benefits. And then people come into the funnel, I'll interview them, and then they get this test project, which will be like 3 different tasks. So that's one thing that we got. And then the lessons and notes from today. I realized like there are team members that are crushing it on my team, and then team members that are doing all right. Like anybody who's total unculture fit is no longer with the team right now, but there are always going to be people who are doing really well and people who aren't doing as well. It's just the nature of the game. No one's going to be equal in the amount of performance that they have. And I was realizing the best people on my team that are performing the best were the ones that have spent the most time with me. We're like, because since we don't have the concrete pouring like we talked about yesterday, since we don't have the exact, hey, this is what your life is going to look like following these processes for the next 2 years, since we don't have that, it really is a matter of like figuring it out on the fly in a lot of instances, and then still believing in the vision, because you get punched in the jaw a lot when you work at a startup of our size and speed of movement. So I think it's really important to be putting that face time in with the team, just constantly being there as a motivation if I can, and sharing how to do things on a day-to-day basis and just how I would go about thinking through things. I think it's really important. So I noticed that as a trait as part of the successful team members. And then another thing that was top of mind today that I posted on my story, that's getting some love actively right now. I posted a couple minutes before I did this video. It's already getting some love. Is we don't vote for what we care about with our mouth. We vote for what we care about with our wallet and with our calendar. So if we say we want to grow the business, are you spending majority of your money on things that will grow the business? And are you spending majority of your calendar, your time, on things that will grow the business? If the answer is no, you're a talker. If the answer is yes, I would ask, how can we crank it up even more? Like, I'll literally spend all of my money on coaching and programs so that I can become a better business owner, to be the person that's required in order to build the business that I want to have. Because there are people that are out there that are totally crushing it. I love the game so much. This thing is just so fun to wake up and get better every single day. Entrepreneurship and growing a business is, I think, the biggest exercise in personal development that you could possibly have. And I just love it. And my time and my time and my wallet, they all go. I'm all in. Like, that's what it means. All in. All time, all money, all energy goes into one thing. That's by definition what all in is. So either way, today was lots of calls with team. I had 5 calls, one-on-ones with team members, each anywhere from 45 to 90 minutes, just doing step-by-step things, building trainings, working on processes, and then also doing a lot of like video reviews myself for some clients, and then reviewing some scripts, assigning some scripts. Lots of hand-to-hand combat today, but it was really good to put in a lot of face time with the team. So super pumped on that front. Overall, really strong day. Tomorrow we've got some time to do deep work in the morning, and then a few calls in the afternoon, onboarding a new editor, a few sales calls, and then a call with Process Builder, who's a referral I got from EOS to help us build our processes. It could be potential. But now my question on a call like that would be, is it in alignment with our critical tasks? If it's not, then I won't do it. If it is, then I will. All right. Really strong day today. I hope you crushed it as well. If you are, keep up the good work. If not, I deem you to have a good day right now. Let's go. See you tomorrow.